Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you have not been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. I finished Saturday. To be honest, at this point, I finished Sunday as well, so I need to get on filming things. Did a teenager kill her family or was she framed? Who knows the truth? Saturday Requiem, Nicci French. Oh my goodness, this is all coming to a head. At the point that I am filming this, I have not started Day of the Dead yet, but I am this close to starting it, and I really can't wait to see how everything goes down. Like, oh. Blurb. 13 years ago, Hannah Doherty was arrested for slaughtering her family. The police saw an open and shut case, and Hannah has been locked up ever since. When psychotherapist Frieda Klein is asked to assess Hannah, she finds a traumatised woman who appears as much a victim as her family. Delving deeper into the case, Frieda uncovers mistakes, inconsistencies, and the suggestion that someone has been hiding the truth. Someone who will do anything to protect themselves. Oh my god, this was so good. Thank you, Jen Campbell, for continuing to talk about this series. Otherwise, I'm not sure I ever would have read them. But it was all down to a few Jen Campbell videos where she continued to talk about how good this series was that prompted me to read the rest of them after reading the Monday one a couple of years ago. This needs to be like a mini-series, I think, where like get like a good 6 episodes or so on one book. It would be so good if it was a TV series, if they did it right. Oh, yeah. Obviously, you still got the underlying story with the twins going on and Dean being her kind of dark guardian angel in a way, watching over her, but just this whole story with Hannah, I was completely hooked on it and trying to work out if she actually did it. She was accused of killing her whole family, her parents, no, it's her mum, her stepdad and her brother, and at this point she's been locked up for about, oh, it says 13, I was going to say 10, it's 13 years ago, it's like the very first word of the blurb, and yeah, so she's been locked up in essentially a mental hospital. Where to start with describing this book and the explanation as to where it goes, because you get the occasional chapter from somebody else who you don't know who it is. It's done in italics. I want to say it's done in italics, those little sections where, like, there's an example here, it's just random little sections where there's no things and you're just getting random little sections of somebody kind of who's possibly on the inside but also on the outside at the same time, and it's about Hannah. And you've got like Hal Bradshaw at the top of it all as well, and you know, I haven't liked him since day one because he's just completely been against Frieda for some bizarre reason. I'm kind of wondering if there's some corruption with Hal. Well, to be fair, technically there is, because he's undermining Frieda kind of left, right, centre. But I do wonder where, if Hal is just one of those typical just people in this series, or if there's more to it, and I'm wondering what's going to come out about Hal in the final book. Yeah, it's obvious that there's some kind of stitch up really, because Frieda's convinced that Hannah didn't actually kill her family, that she's been locked up with them, just finding kind of like the easiest scapegoat for what happened. And then as you go through Frieda investigating and trying to figure out what actually happened on the day that Hannah's family was killed, you find out about there's so many mistakes that were made, misidentification of a body. Yeah, so Frieda's completely on Hannah's side of just thinking, no, this woman has been completely traumatised, and at this point she's severe into PTSD to the point where she doesn't really talk anymore, she doesn't trust anybody, and where she's supposed to be kind of looked after, nobody is actually looking out for her at all. And but yeah, as the top of the blurb says, did her teenager kill her family or was she framed? Who knows the truth? And Frieda is just about trying to find out what actually happened there. You do also have the story of Dean kind of hovering over everything, because I admit there'll be more to go into. It goes into the next book, which is the Sunday, which really delves more into Frieda and Dean and what Frieda's been going through with Dean watching over her and trying to figure all that out as we go into Day of the Dead, what I think is going to be the final showdown. Ugh. It's incomprehensible is the word that I've just got running through my mind in regards to this one. The front cover, I mean, I love all the front covers anyway, but it's really just striking because it's not actually in black and white, but you've got that real pop of colour with the red of her running down the street there. Just the fact that Frieda just comes across as such a stoic person. So when shit does hit the fan, she just, to other people, she seems incredibly calm when really she's very in towards herself and trying to comprehend everything. It's brilliant. It really is so addictive, these books. If you do like a good murder mystery, I definitely recommend them. Having a good kind of detective series to get your teeth into. It's definitely darker. The more you go through it, the darker it gets, to be honest. And it's not helped by the fact that you've got Dean watching over it all this time. I mean, there was a point when I started to wonder if maybe it wasn't Dean and actually it was the other brother. But more and more as I go through, it's just like, no, that's I just been completely quashed in my brain. It's very much Dean looking over her. There's actually a comment in the next book where he says, we're the adults and the children are getting in the way. But yeah, just seeing Frieda really fight for Hannah, even though Hannah's pretty much lost to the system at this point. You don't really know if there's actually much that can actually be done for Hannah beyond trying to actually find out what actually happened to her family. The complete nail-biter, this one. It's just so good. It's one of those ones that as I get more and more into the story, the less I want to say. But it's just so good. It's so dark. It is just brilliant. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. Nicci French, Nicci French, Saturday Requiem. You see her fighting for Hannah. You see her trying to still figure out what's going on with Dean in the background. The people that don't believe her, the people that may believe her, and just all the feelings. And I have no idea how I just caught that book. As you can see, there was a sticker on here that I've tried to take off, but it's just not working. Can get a little bit there. One of the things we don't just destroy the whole book in the process. If anybody's got any recommendations for how to get just sticky residue off books, I'd love to hear if you've got any ideas for how to get that off. Just one of those, it's like those nail-biting moments. I'm very much looking forward to talking to you about, is it called Sunday on the Way Down? Sunday Morning Coming Down, and then the last one is Day of the Dead. In between books, I am currently reading The Apartment Upstairs by Leslie Cara. I've read a Leslie Cara book before, which was called The Rumour, and that was such a good book. I remember how it continued, the guessing continued until the very final page. You know, one of those ones where everything turns on in that like last sentence. I love a book that does that to you. It can be frustrating, but also extremely satisfying. Just like, oh my god, and your brain is just going at 1,000,000 miles an hour based on the final line of the book. Yeah. If you've been reading along with me, you'll have to let me know what you thought of Saturday Requiem and where you think the showdown is going to end up. But yeah. You can tell, because I actually finished this a couple of weeks ago. I've got a few videos to catch up on. But the fact that it's still just so fresh in my mind, even with having read Sunday now, it's just so good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my series Sunday's books. If you're watching for the Frieda Klein stuff, or you just like watching a bit of everything, thank you. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I do know that more than 50% of my watchers are not subscribed, so if you do like my videos and you keep coming back, just click the subscribe button. That way you don't have to keep searching. I'll just be there in your feed. Thank you. I will see you next time with another video. I love you all. Stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.